Hello everybody, welcome to the Oracle of the Central Sun. I am Michelle and we are now in Mercury moving forward. The retrograde has ended and I've definitely felt some forward momentum in my life. Some years we feel the retrogrades more often depending what's happening in our personal charts, and this year it's very prominent for me. So I've really been noticing how when Mercury is retrograde, there is such an inward change in momentum and in my thought patterns and my belief systems, really changing while the retrograde is happening. And it's been such a gift for me. So today I would like to talk about discernment and how things can be different, and solutions and perspective and viewpoints, and what is hopeful can be completely different in different stages of our journey. So when we walk on the spiritual path, when we are geared to wanting to awaken and evolve and expand and to remember who we really are in this life, there is always a sense of the next step, what we need to do to heal, how we can evolve and become bigger in our own personal remembering. And one of the things that really stands out in a lot of the modern spiritual approaches that I see on social media is that people give very definitive answers for certain problems, conflict situations. And what I want to say about this is that, yes, in some instances, there can be solutions that are universal, but a lot of the time, things are so personal to us. And it is really up to us to grow our own discernment as we walk the path. And this can be done in many different ways. It really happens as we walk. And sometimes because the universe or God shows us different things, sometimes by contrast, it can really happen that we sometimes really, literally, physically and spiritually need to try different things to see what works. And what becomes apparent when you've walked a path for decades is that, walking the path of remembrance is like a spiral. We go round, but we also go up in our awareness and our understanding, or we expand if you want to see it that way. So what happens is that similar situations can come around again as we walk the path. But if we try the solution that we tried 20 years ago, that we tried 30 years ago, when something is happening, we suddenly may find that that thing is not giving us the result that we had hoped for. And this is a fascinating thing about the path. And this is what I also love about bringing astrology and other divination methods into our understanding of our own life, because even if we just look at astrology, we will see that, yes, the planets have their cycles. They go round. It takes a certain amount of years for each planet to go around the sun. This creates cycles of seed points and end points. But yet, the planetary positions are never alike. As unique as we are, as unique as our fingerprints are, as unique is our personal charts, and also the planets never reach exactly the same point twice. That is the uniqueness of our own evolution. So my point being that is that on this path, the development of our own discernment is so important. And also, we need playfulness as well as resilience. The playfulness is needed because we are going to come up against those barriers where we have a similar situation, we try and use the solution that we used before. It no longer works, and that can be disheartening. So there is such a call on the path to really be playful and to be curious. Curiosity is really one of the most valuable things that we can walk with on this path, to really ask ourselves inwardly and get curious. What is actually occurring here? What am I expanding into now? Because the same or very similar things could be occurring that occurred 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, but the subtle nuance is different now. We are expanding into a deeper part of ourselves. We are expanding into a different part of ourselves through a similar situation. So discernment is so powerful. And this is why energy healing tools and divination tools are so powerful in this regard, because they can all give us guidance into the situation right now. You know, with energy healing tools, the solution is in your field. You already contain the answer. So when we ask a question with energy healing tools, we can get such beautiful guidance on what needs to happen now in our path, what we are expanding into, what we are learning at this time. And we can really be curious about this and bring that playfulness in as much as we can. Of course, when we are going through really difficult things, we need to feel the grief, the sadness, the pain that we are going through. This is all part of our expansion process. But the thing is, we can be going through intensely painful things, and we are still able, if we are open-hearted with ourselves, to really bring this playfulness and curiosity while we are working with painful situations in our life. And I really don't mean to bypass anything. I just mean to approach things with a curiosity and a playful energy, because this creates an opening that allows us to see what we didn't see before. So I really encourage you to start working with your own discernment. And even if you do a weekly or a monthly meditation on how am I developing my discernment right now, because as we are walking into the future, it's going to become increasingly important to work with our own discernment. There's going to be a lot of things out there in the world, you know, with the expansion of technology and all of these things, where our own inner discernment in our bodies, in our minds, in our spirits, that's going to become our number one tool that's going to help us to be successful humans. Thank you so much for being here today. Let me know how you are honing your discernment. And even for me, I find it really fascinating and also beautiful how I learn to find new ways to work with situations in my life and to transcend things in new ways and expand into new ways of being. So I look forward to hear from you. And if you feel like booking a session, get in touch with me. I can guide you with all of these principles if you need any assistance. And I will see you again soon.